Now, an update on a really inspirational woman we've been following here on the programme. This is Jazz Turner from Seaford. She's attempting to become the first disabled person to sail right around the United Kingdom on her own, unsupported, and that's despite having a terminal illness. If you remember, she set off from Brighton 3 weeks ago.
So I'm about to set sail and attempt to become the first disabled person to complete a solo, non-stop and unassisted circumnavigation of the UK and Ireland. The worst part is always when there's no wind. I can't use my engine as part of the record attempt, so when there's no wind, I go wherever the tide wants, and drifting is really hard to deal with mentally when you want to be making forward progress.
So from Brighton, she went left and went all the way down the south coast to Land's End, then round the Scilly Isles to the west coast of Ireland, right the way around the top of Scotland, round Orkney. She could have cut off that bit, but she went around Orkney and is now on the east coast of Scotland at Petershead, just near Aberdeen. And she's had horrific weather on her way, which brought her to tears.
Today has been tougher than I could have ever imagined. I can't count the amount of hours I've spent crying today. The wind has been up and down like a yo-yo and all over the place, but just emotionally it's been tough. I guess doing this journey, I feel like I wanted to prove myself, that I would prove I was a proper offshore sailor, a proper sailor, that all those things people said about me were wrong. And I've been really angry at myself all of today for having this wobble, because in my head, if I was a proper sailor, then I wouldn't be having this wobble and I wouldn't be crying.
Well, that was on Sunday, so a bit of a wobble, which you can understand. I mean, think of the things you've done in the last 3 weeks, where she's been alone on that boat, contending with the wind and the weather and the water. However, Jazz has sent us a more positive voice note this morning.
19 days in, 1,400 nautical miles, and I'd officially passed the halfway point, the northernmost part of the UK, a little rock off the Shetlands called Muckle Flugger. So that was a massive achievement and a massive high to get that far and achieve something that I genuinely never thought possible. If I'm honest, I hadn't actually planned the route after there because I didn't actually think I'd make it that far. So there's been a bit of backwards scrabbling to finish planning the last route home.
Listening to that is Jazz's foster dad, Chris Turner. Hi, Chris.
Hi, morning.
We've heard two different sides of Jazz there in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, she's had since she went round Muggleflucker a strong winds again for the last few days. But hopefully by Wednesday it should all calm down and it'll be a bit better.
How are you feeling at this point?
Obviously, my wife and I have been quite worried at times, shall we say, because there's nothing we can do, to help her if something goes wrong. But she's very experienced. And,
yes, I don't agree with her assessment that she's not a proper sailor.
Oh yeah, I know that's her being hard on herself. Obviously, she's sailed since she was about 13, and internationally as well. So she can sail.
Let me play you this, because last week we got an inspirational message for Jazz from the legendary sailor Ellen MacArthur, who in 2005 broke the world record for the fastest solo circumnavigation of the globe.
Hey Jazz, it's Ellen MacArthur here, and I just wanted to send you a message to say have a fantastic trip. I've spotted what you're up to. I think it's absolutely awesome, and I hope you have a really, really amazing time. It's a beautiful coast, and you're going to see all of it. Take care out there.
And despite Jazz being in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the storm, she got this message from Ellen and then sent us this in return.
If I'm honest, I wasn't really sure how to react when I got that message from Ellen MacArthur. She's one of my all-time idols and people I've looked up to. So to know that she's even vaguely interested in my journey feels absolutely insane. But to get a message of support from someone like that means more to me than I can ever put in words. Yeah, she's been a role model because she always did what she needed, despite what everybody else was telling her. And that's very much a philosophy I've taken in, and is part of the reason I'm doing this, is that, despite being told I couldn't and that I wasn't physically capable, seeing people like her and what she managed to do has been one of the major inspirations behind taking on this challenge. So I don't know how to react other than honoured, humbled, and grinning like an idiot.
That's good. So quite a pep talk from Ellen for Jazz there, Chris.
Yeah, rather handy that. She's getting there. Obviously, unlike most people, she has to walk around on her knees a lot, and is unable to take on food and nutrients at the same rate as others can. So obviously, it all becomes harder as her body's in quite a lot of pain all the time. So that's what makes it a little bit harder for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, in response to that, people have got on board with this, and she's put up her fundraising total. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so she was aiming for 30,000. We really didn't know when we started this how interested people would be. So she started at 30, but now put it up to 50 because it'll all go to helping disabled people get access to sailing through our system at Piddinghoe.
Yeah,
at Newhaven and Seaford Sailing Club. So that's what we're trying to achieve: get more people with disabilities on the water.
Wonderful. And if you go to projectfear.uk, and that's the positive side of fear there, projectfear.co. It's projectfear.uk.
Projectfear.uk. Yeah,
that's right.
Just
and then.
And yeah, there's links at the bottom to her Facebook and all that sort of stuff. But you can press a tracking button, and she has a satellite link to keep track of her, because a lot of times she's just too far out from land to use a normal tracking. So you have a tracking picture. Chris,
thanks a lot. Speak to you again very soon. Chris Turner there. So projectfear.uk to follow Jazz's progress, and that's also perhaps to help with the Newhaven Sailability. It's BBC Radio Sussex 8:33.